from a dead stop, you like floor it. What'll happen?
Oh shit, dude.
Dang. Anyway, welcome to the Night Club, guys. It's your host, the Night Wrencher. I'm here with Daniel, right?
Yes.
Daniel, up in here in a sunny, where are we?
Anaheim.
Sunny Anaheim,
Yep.
Southern California. We're working on his
1980 Turbo Trans Am.
So it was a Turbo Trans Am. So go ahead and run me through the story real quick.
Well, I came across this car about 10 years ago. I found it in Victorville. The guy had I bought it basically a shell, no engine, no tranny.
Okay.
It already had nice paint on it, all the decals. Actually, scored on it for $2,000.
Oh, really?
Yeah, pretty good deal. So
Really good deal.
So I tried to bring it to the original, 301 turbo that it has. It was no success. Yeah, no power, and I was just having a lot of trouble with my carburetor. It was running way too rich. I got frustrated, and I stored the car for about 4 years. And it sat underneath a berry tree, which the berries kind of screwed up my paint a little bit as far as the hood is concerned.
Yep.
Other than that, I got frustrated and I ended up buying a Denali, a 2004 Denali with a 6.0.
That's where the LS swap comes in?
Yep. Actually, we back it up a little bit because before that I bought a 5.3.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I went to LA, picked up this 5.3, brought it home, took the heads off. It was full of water.
Oh,
Dude,
no.
it was full of rust, full of water. I was so upset. That's where these heads came from.
Oh,
So
really? I was wondering.
I kept the heads and I sold everything. I sold the bare block.
So right now you have a 6.0 Denali 6.0 with 5.3 heads, 862 heads with the LQ4, LQ9,
LQ9.
LQ9.
Yep.
Okay. So why am I here? What's wrong with the carburetor?
Well, I had a lot of trouble with the carburetor, and I've been following this guy, Night Wrencher, for a while now. Actually, it's what inspired me to go LS because I learned how to do the MSD on there. I learned my alternator, the one wire hookup with the resistor, half watt resistor on there.
All right. So what were the issues with the carburetor?
So it was running super rich.
Okay.
I couldn't get it to idle. I was trying to do the adjustment, the four-corner adjustments, like follow your instructions on the video, but I couldn't get it to idle low enough. Also, it was doing this popping noise, wanting to stay on when I turned it off.
It's I think they call it dieseling or running away.
Okay.
Is what the term is. So solutions for a lot of that was, well, it was leaking too, right?
It was leaking too, yeah. The accelerator pump was leaking fuel, so I had a little rag under there to catch the fuel.
Right, so that was pretty dangerous because your shorty headers right there. So that's the first thing that we did, right? So we went ahead, we took the bowl off, we pulled off the accelerator pump diaphragm, replaced it, put it back on, and it stopped leaking, but then it stopped squirting fuel, right?
Right.
So then we had to take it apart again, and then we found that the little plastic, I guess it's like a check valve. On the older carburetors it was a check ball, but on that one, because the new rubber kind, that one probably when I cleaned the bowl I must have knocked it off because it was already probably really rusty. It came apart. That's why it didn't squirt. Replaced that, and now it's squirting fine. We still couldn't get it to idle low enough. I pulled the idle screw all the way back out, and we couldn't get it below 1,000 RPM.
Check for a vacuum leak too. He thought it might have been a vacuum leak.
Yeah, so we went ahead, because I started pulling all the vacuum ports, checking to see if we have vacuum, and when I would unplug them, we would have a change, but it would always go up, it wouldn't go back down. When we turned down the idle all the way down, I went ahead and I checked the venturies on the back, the butterflies, and you could see that the little throttle stop was like way in there, and immediately I knew that was the issue. So we did a choke delete and everything else that was associated with it, and then I forgot what size Allen key it was, but we just backed it up all the way out.
532.
Yeah, 530 seconds, that's what it was. And then we went ahead and turned up the primary idle, and we started it back up, and at first it was idling like around 1300 RPM, remember? And then we started going down the screw, and then we got it below 1000, then below 800, and then we got it down to like 600 or 500 and wanted to turn off. And I said, all right, we're on the right track. Then, after we were able to get it low enough, I'm pretty sure the transfer slot was squared like it needed to, we started to put in the screws. When I pulled off the metering blocks, I reset them to 1.5, just so it wouldn't be running lean. So then I went ahead and we just started going half turn, quarter turn with the vacuum gauge since you don't have a
Cleaned up real nice.
yeah, and then we finally got it to idle from the 500, 600 without touching the screw. We were able to bump it back up 200 RPM with just fixing up the AFR. After which we also hooked up the MSD, right?
Yep.
We hooked up the laptop. We took it off the truck because his map sensor's not hooked up right now. So we went ahead and switched it over to a custom 1 tune. I went in and we increased the timing on anything. Yeah, the curve all the way below 3,000 went way up. We set up his idle RPM, and then we just started going up on the timing on the idle until it didn't want to advance anymore, and that actually brought it up another 50 or so RPM. So now instead of idling around 740, 760, it's like right around 780, 800. So that cleaned it up a little bit, and then we maxed out the timing. Everything above 3,000 is now 28 degrees. And then below that, it steps down 2 degrees at a time.
Yeah, it was set up really high, like a 35 or something like that, right?
Yeah, I think it maxed out at 35, and then at the very end, it would be 40. But because you don't have the map sensor hooked up, it would always hit 40. If you were to floor it, it would always hit 40.
Oh, wow.
And with the increased compression from the not the 706, the A62 heads and the LQ9 block, you're probably sitting around 10.5 to 1 compression
Yeah,
ratio.
that has flat pistons too.
Yeah, flat top pistons. So you're going to be running into problems. So that's why we went ahead and backed it up, and you probably won't step it back up until you get a dyno.
Okay.
So 28 degrees, that was the Richard Holdner recommendation from all his videos. That's what he says.
Shout out to Richard.
Yeah, shout out to Richard Holdner. So we did all these mods, and how did the car end up?
It ended up really nice. We actually ended up doing a really nice peel out, and it's like a half donut kind of.
Yeah, half of a donut. I really thought this was the end of the car, and I was wondering if I could buy the motor off, you know, but it didn't happen. Good thing.
Yeah. And also, I guess when we did the launch, the seats aren't bolted in.
Yeah, the seats aren't bolted in.
He freaking flew way back. I thought he was gonna freaking go way back to the back
lucky his
seat.
airbox was there. I was able to hold myself down with the airbox,
Yeah.
so that was still safe. And it actually went down the road pretty straight after he hooked. And he took off, and it was good. What about the idle quality?
Idle's real smooth, nice and low, like it needs to be 800.
Not jerky,
Not jerky.
and it doesn't die when you put it in gear.
Doesn't die, nope.
And it doesn't shake when you put it in gear. That's a huge
Doesn't
issue.
shake, yeah.
Yep. So basically, from here on out, it's just tranny, exhaust, and all the little details, and it should be good to go.
Right.
Changed the jets on the secondaries from 80 to 72 because I'm pretty sure on a stock cam 6.0 80s are a little bit too much, and then we upgraded the 69s in the front to 71s in the front because I'm pretty sure it did want that little bit of extra fuel in because of the, judging by the way the peel out went, I'm pretty sure we're going in the right direction, and we won't be able to find that out until we get that AFR gauge installed and fine tune that fuel curve. So anyway, that's our little story, and I'm glad to be out here, and I hope to do a little bit more of these in the future. So I'll see you guys all in the next one. Night Wrencher out.